Greetings. I won't lie to you. This one does look a little bit more confusing to me, but I'm gonna try my best. So for number one, I noticed that the line for number one looks a lot more just sporadic. It's a lot more switching back and forth. So to me, this could mean, hey, maybe just varying parts in the mean. But to me, this looks like the line is just varying and looks sporadic. It's just up and down, like fluctuating. Then I would say for number two to me looks just a lot more overall stable. It seems like, hey, the means or the is this the results of this being consistent. They're not really bouncing between each other too much. Then I'll say for number three. Definitely animation two on the bottom has a lot more stable because the line isn't bouncing back and forth as much or as quick, really. So I noticed that number two is a lot more stable in that regard. While number one, the S isn't like super rapid, but at the same time, it is still moving like rapidly and all over the place. And for number four, I think having a huge sample is good because having large samples are good for more accurate and stable results and data. So more large of that equals it's more chances for it to look more accurate and whatnot instead of small sample sizes. I believe this would be the statistical convalidity. I'm sorry if I pronounced that entirely wrong. Then for number six, I think if we wanted to access a study's external validity, we need to consider what are the variations of it. Like, oh, hey, like, and by timing the procedures, so like, hey, what if this was done at this time? Or what if the procedures were a little bit more different and whatnot? And I think that's why it matters in that regard. And it could also be in regards of the setting. Was it more realistic? Was it more in a setting of like a relaxed, a controlled, or just a observed environment? Then it's like, hey, are the participants representing a good chunk of the population, or is it more so going to isolate more potential data because hey, it's more isolated instead of it being, or does it even come close to representing the whole population versus a specifically hand picked one?